Alright, so I normally do this every few months or so, just to show off the Blu-ray collection and how much it's expanded, and also for any new subscribers who are curious about, like, who haven't seen the movies I own, as well as check out kind of like my ever-growing collection, and also it gives you a taste of like who I am as a movie enjoyer. I gotta be honest, the collection has grown pretty well, very well, in fact. But I will say that it's changed exponentially, and I've actually gotten movies I didn't think I would ever want to watch or be part of a collection. It's actually kind of fascinating, if I'm being honest. Like, some of these movies I have watched, I have like watched and or owned, and I'm like, huh, I never once thought I'd own a movie like this, and it's not the kind you think. Anyway, so I'm just going to go through all of them, starting off with like the special edition ones. Starting off with It Came from Outer Space. This movie is a gift from Chris. I know you're watching, brother, so thank you. This is a 4K Ultra Blu-ray. I don't. The only thing I'm using to watch is that Xbox One, so I can't really watch 4Ks at the moment. This is the black and white edition, and I think it also, yeah, it does come in 3D, but I don't have any 3D glasses. But yeah, this is a really solid 50s sci-fi movie. It's actually based off of a short story by Ray Bradbury. It's actually really good. Next up, another film, Duel. This was Steven Spielberg's major film that got him Jaws. This is very a Hitchcock movie. It's almost like Steven Spielberg trying his best to be a Hitchcock movie, and it's really suspenseful. It's very tense. I really liked this movie after watching it for the first time. Anyway, then we have Arrow Video's RoboCop. This is another major special edition. Yeah, what more can I say about RoboCop, right? Anyway, now for the two steelbooks I have in my collection, and they're very vastly different movies. Tremors and The Last Dragon. This was a gift from my friend Chris. Yeah, Last Dragon is awesome. Show enough. If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. But Tremors, what more can I say? It's another great creature feature film. I will say, though, that, like, I don't understand, even though I'm happy to have them, I don't understand why steelbooks are so it's basically the same thing as the same kind of content you get in a Blu-ray, but like it's just a metal case. I don't understand it. If I get steelbooks or have to get a steelbook for a movie, I'll do it, but I'm not going to go out of my way for just an expensive cover. You know what I mean? I might have to yeah. If I can't find a movie that that isn't on just Blu-ray and I have to get steelbook, then yeah, that'll be the case. Then we have this special edition of The Exorcist. This movie specifically has the theatrical and the extended director's cut, or at least one of them. It's also got this really cool book about the movie, I think is really neat, and a little thing about William Friedkin. The problem is that every time I try to play this damn movie, the audio doesn't work, and for some reason, after I play other movies, the audio cuts out on all of them. Maybe this thing is cursed. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to talk about the Criterion movies I have in my collection. The one is in the DVD collection, DVD Blu-ray collection, and that's another gift from Chris. That is Lady Snowblood, both movies. But the first one is Seven Samurai, my favorite movie of all time. This Criterion collection is great. It's also got a nice little book in here about behind the scenes. There's also a special edition commentary on one of the movies. Really solid. Next up, Throne of Blood. Another Akira Kurosawa movie, which is based... It's a Japanese samurai retelling of Macbeth. It's a really solid movie. Another great Kurosawa film. Then we have from Pete Bogdanovich, his first major movie, Targets. This was Boris Karloff's last movie. It's really cool. There's another gift from Chris. Basically, what the movie is about Boris Karloff plays an aging horror actor named Byron Orlock, who finds himself in the crosshairs of a madman going around murdering people with a rifle. It's basically taking that old school horror and mixing it with like real world horror. Very solid movie. Then for the last Criterion movie, Val Lewton's Cat People, or should I say Jacques Tourneur's Cat People, with Val Lewton producing. I have made it one of my raison d'etres is to collect every Val Lewton movie. I have 3, which we will get through. Is it 3 or 4? I can't, but yeah. I'm trying to collect all 9 Val Lewton films. That's kind of my like my white whale. It's almost like my collecting the Dragon Balls. Val Lewton. This is what I was talking about when I would say that these are the type of movies I wouldn't even expect myself to get, but thanks to watching filmography and documentary channels like Dark Corners, I got really interested in it and I was not disappointed. This movie it's a very psychological film about a young girl who marries a man, but she believes she's cursed to turn into a cat monster at night. You really have to take into the account that this is you don't see a lot, but it's what you don't see that scares you. That movie's also the invention of the jump scare. So, all right, going through the regular movies. Starting off, we have VHS 94. This is a recent purchase of mine because this is my favorite of the VHS movies. I like that whole trilogy. VHS 94, 99, and 85. I like that whole trilogy. Beyond, I'm okay with. I think I only like 2 of those segments: the Mike Flanagan written one, and the one where the plane crashes into the ship. The rest of it, I'm just like, eh. Oh, and the Android pop star. That's another good one. That's those. But the rest is it's just sci-fi. Like VHS Beyond is just okay, and VHS Halloween was fine. But this is my favorite of all. This is still my reigning of the VHS films. Hail Ratma. Anyway, next up, Bad Moon, another great werewolf movie with some really shitty transformation sequences. It's a very underrated werewolf movie told from the dog's perspective. It's a lot of fun. The transformation is god-awful, but the werewolf design is great. Absolutely love it. Next up, we have a dual pack of Godzilla vs. Destroyer and Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. The reason why it's not... I'm very pedantic when it comes to my organization of films. So if I have, 2 films in the same continuity, I put them with the DVD collections because that's a collection of films. Here, it's just 2 different movies smashed together because this is Heisei and Millennium. So I'm totally fine with just kind of leaving it in the regular collection because it's 2 different films. I know it's weird, but it just bothers... It's a thing. You just gotta let me do this. This is my thing. But yeah. Both are the remastered edition. I kind of wanted it more because I couldn't find Godzilla vs. Destroyer on Blu-ray. That was kind of my thing, was that I just couldn't find that film on there. But yeah. Still, it's nice to have it. Next up, The Warriors, the Ultimate Director's Cut. This is really solid. I got it at a thrift store along with others. I've talked about that story before. Another movie I really love. Next up is Resident Evil Death Island, another gift from Chris, and Resident Evil Degeneration. I have the first and last of the Resident Evil animated films. This is another thing I'm trying to do, is find and collect the other Resident Evil animated films. So I am missing Vendetta and Damnation. So I'm missing those 2. And I don't want to get the full collection now that I have Degeneration, because then I'm just having 2 movies of the same thing, and I don't want that. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can find Vendetta and Damnation at some point and add them there. But I do find it fun that I have, the first and last of the Resident Evil films, animated films, I mean. And they are, yes, of varying quality, I'm aware. Next up, The Haunting. The movie that still, every time I watch it, scares the shit out of me. Why do you own it if it scares you? It's kind of like owning the thing that you fear. It's kind of like a power move. Also, it's a really good movie. Next up, my favorite of the Chucky films, Bride of Chucky. Yeah, it's fun. I don't know if I want to collect the other Child's Play movies. There are a few I do want to get, but like, I'm just totally fine with just owning Bride of Chucky. If I'm being honest, it's the best. It is the best. Next up, Godzilla -1. What more can I say about this movie other than it fucking rocks? Next up, 30 Days of Night. This was I love the experience high definition on some of these Blu-ray covers. It dates how old these Blu-rays are. Some of them. This was a lot. This movie is one of the best vampire movies of all time. Anyway, next up, Twister. A lot of nostalgia cheese in this movie, but I love it, and it's great. It's a great disaster film. Then we have The Velocipaster. This movie is goddamn ridiculous, and I love it. People's like, oh, it's so awful. That's the point. It's supposed to be bad. Now we come to the next Val Lewton movie, and that is Boris Karloff in The Body Snatcher. This is the first of the Val Lewton movies I owned. I personally think this is Boris Karloff's best performance of all time, of all of his movies. He goes from warm to sinister to calculating. All of it's great. You can't take away from The Monster. That's his most notable role, and it's definitely one of the top three. The other one I would say is Byron Orlock from Targets. But yeah, this is his best performance in my opinion. We also have Bela Lugosi in this movie, but it's really depressing to see him in this state. Then we have Legend of Hell House. This is another movie that's kind of like The Haunting. This is a nice 70s horror film. It's more based on atmosphere and not seeing any ghosts. It's really solid. Anyway, then we have The Burning, another gift from my friend Chris. This is a fun slasher film, but I do think I think it does kind of like burn out at the end. Also, it's also like, it's made by Harvey Weinstein, and you can tell. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, then we have another purchase of mine, The Mask of Zorro. Is it obvious yet that I like 90s? There's a lot of like 90s movies I enjoy because I'm from that era. I love this movie. And the sequel sucks, but I love this movie. Also, the soundtrack is great. It's 90s pop. It's like late 90s, 2000s like pop. But it's so good. It's so good. Anyway, then we have The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. I thought this was fun. I really liked this movie. I thought it was very cute, and I can't wait for Acme versus Coyote. Then we have Orca, the Killer Whale, a Kino Labor release. You're going to see a few of those in here. But yeah, Orca, the Killer Whale, I think is one of the best of the Jaws ripoff movies. And also, that intro really just hooks you in. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Then we have Cocaine Bear, a great animal attack movie that doesn't take itself seriously. And I do feel like Primate is going to have those same vibes, but not be as fun. It's going to be brutal. And I couldn't help, when I heard of Primate, I couldn't help but think of another animal attack movie that came out in January. And basically did great at the box office. So anyway, that was also, I think, the second Blu-ray I ever bought was Cocaine Bear. So weird. Anyway, Late Night with the Devil. Great horror movie. David Desmelchin kills it in this film. Then we have 13 Assassins. Another great samurai film. Basically what it is about these 13 samurai who plan to assassinate a psychotic prince who's about to be made emperor. So they have to kill him before he gets to the coronation. And all of his guards, too. Anyway. Then we have Dracula. The Frank Langella Dracula. With it has Donald Pleasance in here. It's a great cast, and it has a very giallo film. But man, Frank Langella is just not Dracula. We talk about like a lot of films like, Gary Oldman, Christopher Lee, or Bela Lugosi, Langella does not show up in that running now, does he? There's a reason for that. Then we have Theater of Blood, a great Vincent Price movie, another Kino Lorber release. This is a great film because it's about a crazed theater actor who goes and kills all of his critics in the form of like Shakespeare plays. Then we have another gift from Chris, Night of the Comet. Another great story about, it's an 80s camp, low-budget film about a bunch of teens after the apocalypse fighting cosmic zombies. How can you not like it? Just gonna drink some tea real fast. Anyway, then we have Ghost right here, right now. This is a fun little Blu-ray. I don't usually pick up movies about, live performances. I think that's kind of it's kind of dumb. But here it tells a whole story and is kind of impactful for the Ghost lore. Also, it's a fun movie. Then we have another gift from Chris, Azrael, which is another post-apocalyptic story starring Samara Weaving, who, it's after the rapture, and it's a silent film because no one can really talk. It's really cool. Then we have one of my favorite movies, Enter the Dragon. What more can I say about this movie, right? Next we have Evil Dead Rise. I cannot wait for Evil Dead Burn. This was also given to me by Chris. Then we have From Dusk Till Dawn. Another great, this is Robert Rodriguez's, one of his best movies. Love it. Alright, we're still going. Next we have Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein. I love this movie. It's probably my second favorite of the Mel Brooks movies. My first being History of the World Part 1. That movie's so great. I would say if you were to ask me like my three favorite Mel Brooks movies, it's this, History of the World, and The Producers at number 3. So this would be number 2. Like I just said that, damn it. But yeah, those are my three favorite Mel Brooks movies. I love all of them, but these would be my top 3. Anyway, then we have The Deadly Mantis. Now we're getting into more you're seeing more and more movies that are like, yeah, this totally tracks. This is so awful. This is such a campy 50s movie. I love it. And also you can see the boom mic in like 2 scenes. That is love right there. Then we have Black Sabbath, which is a Boris Karloff movie by Mario Bava. This is another Kino Lorber movie. I've talked about this movie before, and how it is actually a part of Ozzy's lore as well. Then we have all 4 Mortal Kombat Legends films. I'm so pissed Warner Brothers stopped making these because these were so damn good. They're some of the best Mortal Kombat stuff out there. So yeah, all 4 of them are great. Then we have a 2-pack of Dawn of the Dead and Land of the Dead, but it is the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead remake. Now I know Snyderverse, all that, but that Dawn of the Dead remake is peak. And it's the unrated version too. And again, these are 2 different continuities. One's the reboot, one's the original George A. Romero film. So that's why they're not with the collection pack, because it's, again, 2 different movies. I'm not a zombie guy, but that was a cool gift from Chris, and I'm always down for like a Romero film. Then we have Happy Birthday to Me. This is an underrated 80s slasher that involves psychic powers and someone getting gored through the mouth by a skewer. Yeah, I haven't even scratched the surface on it because there are just some crazy deaths in this movie. Then we have The Autopsy of Jane Doe. This is a movie by oh my god, why am I blanking on his name? Andre Overdahl, who I've liked all of his movies, like Troll Hunter, Last Voyage of the Demeter. I will defend that movie. But this is a great movie. If you don't know what this is about, it's literally an autopsy of an unknown woman by a father and son who slowly discover that there is something demonic inside of her. In the body, I mean. So, really suspenseful, really cool. I love it. And I can't wait for Overdahl's Bendy and the Ink Machine movie. Then we have The Road Warrior and Mad Max Fury Road. I love both of these films. I really want to get the Furiosa film. It's been on my list of movies I want to own. So Furiosa was super underrated, and this would be a great completion of that. I don't know if I'd want to get like Mad Max and Beyond Thunderdome because I just don't like I don't roll with those movies. But Fury Road and Road Warrior, yeah, and also Furiosa. Then we have The Descent, director's cut. This is another great horror movie by Neil Marshall. This was this big film. Great horror film. Next we have Pulp Fiction, Tarantino film. I got a few of these. What can I say about Pulp Fiction, right? It's a great film. Go watch it. Then we have Seven, which I kind of picked up. It's a cool movie. Featuring Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, but I kind of got it at a Dime Big Lots along with another movie with like an anime collection I found, and also another film you're going to see on here later. Yeah, Big Lots was a dying store, and sometimes you can find gold in the Big Lots DVD Blu-ray collections, and this was like, yeah, I'll take this. Yeah, I like Seven's a cool movie. Then we have The Witch. This is, of course, one of the, Robert Eggers is one of the few art house horror directors I like. Actually, it's just him. Ari Aster. Yeah, I'm not, as you guys know, I'm not a big fan of art house horror, but Eggers just makes it work. Yep. I have all 4 of his movies. The only one that isn't Blu-ray is Lighthouse, and that's DVD. Then we have The Monster, another gift from Chris. It's a Blumhouse film from the director of The Strangers. It's kind of cool. It's about a mother and daughter encountering an actual monster. It's kind of neat. Then we have Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters 2 was given to me by Chris. And, yeah, what do you want me to say? They're both I will defend Ghostbusters 2. I don't care what anyone says. That's a fun movie. Speaking of fun movies, The Simpsons movie. What? That's the thing. If sometimes I will just look at my Blu-ray collection and just look at all the movies that are next to each other, like Mad Max right next to Blood Theater, or The Simpsons movie right next to Bad Moon, and other horror all these other random horror movies. Another Kino Lorber film, Roger Corman's The Raven. This is a fun comedy film featuring Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, and Boris Karloff. It has nothing to do with this is part of the Poe cycle. It's the fun one and has little to do with the poem itself. But hey, you get Peter Lorre, Boris Karloff, and Vincent Price doing wizard shit. I'm in. Night of the Creeps. This is a great movie, and I got 2 words for you. Thrill me. If you know, you know. Then we have North by Northwest from Alfred Hitchcock. Yeah, I told you. Now we're there are going to be some movies really? That's in your collection? Yep. You're going to I've had horror movies right next to a Looney Tunes movie. It's eclectic, and also this movie was also very much proof that my taste in film is growing. Not to say I'm not going to watch a movie. I'm not going to go out and be like, it's a tour de force. This movie has no swearing and violence, and the pegging scene was clearly meant to blah 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 blah. No, I'm still going to go out and watch a movie that features someone turning into a monster, or a giant kaiju, or giant robots, or a werewolf, or a vampire, or a slasher film that's going to have nothing but blood and guts everywhere. I'm still going to, or something in the homage of a 70s grindhouse movie. I'm still going to watch those first. But there are other movies that you can look back on and have an appreciation for. It just shows that your taste is growing, and sometimes you just need that as a moviegoer. Then we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and 2, the only Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies that are any good. We'll see about that A24 one in the future, but I'm not holding my breath. Then we have Reanimator. Just a great fucking movie. Then we have a gift from Chris, Night of the Demons. Great 80s film. It's also a great movie to watch on Halloween. Not just because it takes place on Halloween, it just has the immaculate 80s Halloween vibes. Then we have Deep Blue Sea. This is a movie I had on DVD, but one day I think I was showing off all the DVDs I had, and I opened up, I was like, there's no disc inside. So I reordered it as a Blu-ray. This is the second best shark movie of all time. We all know the number one. It's Sharknado. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, then we have Dog Soldiers. Neil Marshall, one of my my favorite werewolf movie of all time, and a film I absolutely adore. Best werewolf movie of all time. That movie fucks. Anyway, then we have a Hammer film, The Mummy's Shroud. Trying to collect more Hammer films because now they're more. A lot of them are harder to get because of distribution rights. But now Hammer's putting out more Blu-rays of certain films, and I kind of want to grab them all. I got all the Universal Monster movies. Now it's time to get all the Hammer films. We're not done, by the way. My favorite movie of last year, Sinners. Awesome movie. Like, if this movie does not win at least best sound, like best soundtrack or best composed music for Ludwig Göransson, then we riot. Even if it does, like, it needs to win that category more than anything else. And do I hope it wins Best Picture? Yeah. Do I think they'll give it to him? No, because the Academy hates horror films. But at least give it to Best Soundtrack and Best Music Composition. Then we have Dario Argento's The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. It's one of Argento's best films ever, and it's one of the this is behind Suspiria in terms of like when people say like Argento's a genius when it comes to horror. This is the second film they're talking about when it comes to that. The first being Suspiria, obviously. Then we have The Godfather, another one of my favorite films of all time. This movie is intrinsically tied with my family because multiple reasons. But yeah, this movie, it's the perfect movie. What do you want me to say? And I don't want someone commenting if they've gotten this far saying, I did not care for The Godfather. That joke is overdone. Thank you very much. Silent Night, Deadly Night, the original. I really am pissed I didn't get to see the remake. So when it comes out, Silent Night, Deadly Night comes out on Blu-ray, the remake, I mean, I'm buying it. I also want to get part 2. I also want to get the sequel to this movie because of Garbage Day. That movie sucks. Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 sucks, but Garbage Day makes up for it, the whole movie. Then the original Shaft. He's a bad mother. See, I told you this collection was weird. Then we have They Live, a John Carpenter classic, which I didn't realize I had in a little Shout Factory DVD collection when I bought this. And then I looked back, I was like, I got 2 of the same. It's the same with The Burning. I didn't know Chris was going to send me that. And then I looked through my DVD collections, and I have it in another Shout Factory collection for 80s horror films. So now I have 2 of those, but it's fine. The Blu-ray's better. So, They Live. I have come to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of gum. Then we have King Kong, the Ultimate Edition. This is an awesome special edition. Like, this is what Blu-rays were meant to be. This has a 2-disc one featuring, like, extended scenes, talking about extended lore of Skull Island. All these in-depth things. If you are a if you want to aspire to be a movie maker or a fan of just theater in general, this is a movie that gives you everything you ever wanted about movie making and movie direction. And this is one of those things you would have to get if you love movies like in and out. Then we have Airplane. Yeah. Bird with the crystal plumage. Airplane. There's such a whiplash to this collection, isn't there? So yeah, Airplane, one of the greatest comedy films of all time. And yes, surely I am serious. And don't call me Shirley. Then we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Secret of the Ooze. I'd like to get the first movie. Not the third one. We all don't like the third one, but the first movie, of course. Then one of my favorite movies of all time, and my favorite Tarantino movie, Reservoir Dogs. Absolute cinema. And I got this movie alongside another film that is complete polar opposites to it. We'll get to that one later. Then we have Violent Night. Great Christmas movie. Can't wait for the sequel. Then The First Omen. Criminally underrated film. Absolutely criminally underrated film. Favorite movie of 2024. Then we have Q the Winged Serpent. This is a fun, like a stop motion monster movie featuring David Carradine, and the whole movie was made because the director literally bought a hotel so he could shoot in New York, and then the movie got canceled. And he's like, "Well, I really like this hotel. I'm gonna make another movie." It's literally he just wanted to stay in a hotel, and we got this bullshit movie. Here is the next of the Val Lewton movies, The Leopard Man. This is a great film featuring a small Hispanic community being befelled by a killer on the loose, a killer at night. That's all I'm going to say about it. Great atmosphere, great use of shadows. It's a solid film. So yeah, Cat People, Leopard Man, Body Snatcher, and one more film. So I have 4 of not. So yeah, I have Cat People, other movie I'm going to show, Body Snatcher, Leopard Man. Yeah, 4. So I'm only I have, thanks to with a little bit of help from Chris, I've managed to collect 4 of the 9 Val Lewton movies. Yeah. Next up, another early Hammer film, The Abominable Snowman of the Himalayas. This movie is awesome. It is black and white, but it does have Peter Cushing, and it almost feels like a Robert Eggers movie. But don't worry, you do get Yetis, and it's terrifying when you see them. Up next, the remake of The Invisible Man. Great film from 2020. One of the few things about that was good about 2020. Then we have Little Shop of Horrors. I bought this the same day I got Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, I was literally in Walmart, and both films were like $6 a piece because they were like the really cheap ones. And I was like, yeah, I like Little Shop of Horrors. So Reservoir Dogs, Little Shop of Horrors. Then we have one of my favorite action films of all time, The Raid Redemption. Great Korean action film. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's about a group of a SWAT team storming a drug kingpin's building and encountering dangers along the way. Then we have Starship Troopers Invasion. This was, I think, the first of the Starship Troopers animated films that are more closely tied to the books than the actual movie. Yeah. I'm surprised. Yeah, I've been meaning to get Starship Troopers, the actual live action movie, part of my collection as well. It's so funny talking about Starship Troopers because on one hand, as a kid when I was watching it as a kid, I was like, oh man, this is so cool, fight those bugs. And then you go back to the movie, at my age and being like, oh my god, this movie has a lot of fascism in it. This has a lot of fascism, and I know that's the point of it. It's supposed to be satire on it, but still, you watch it, it's like, wow, this sure is a lot of fascism in this movie. Anyway, next up, Forbidden Planet, another gift from Chris. This is another This is one of those quintessential sci-fi films. Like one of those, when you think about 50s sci-fi films, you think of this as one of the GOATs. Next up, we have the Godzilla Toho Collection 2-pack of Godzilla, Mothra, GMK, basically, and Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. Multi, they're both in Millennium. Why aren't they in the collection? Because Millennium basically was its own continuity, except for 2 films. This one and Godzilla Tokyo SOS. So that was my train of logic. If it was Heisei, then they'd go together. But yeah, Millennium didn't really have a lot of continuity. They're more like one-and-done films. So yeah. Also, it's my collection. Shut the fuck up. I'll dictate the rules how I see fucking fit. How about that? Then we have Smokin' Aces, another recent collection edition of mine. This is a fun movie that's almost trying to be a Tarantino movie about a bunch of assassins trying to off a drugged-out Vegas magician, and insanity ensues. Then we have The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, a great Clint Eastwood movie, the like one of the quintessential Western films of all time. Then we how could you not have it without this movie? A Fistful of Dollars, the other great Western film. Next we have Dragon Slayer. A great dark a dark fantasy from the 80s film, and obviously the best dragon of all time. Sorry, Smaug, it's Vermithrax. Also, that movie was co-produced by Disney. Did you know that? You watch that movie and go, "Oh, Disney made this," because there's some dark moments in there. Then we have, thanks to Chris, Vampire Hunter D. I really love this movie. It's a great dark horror sci-fi film, but also I can't wait for them to re-release Bloodlust, Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, because that is like some of the most beautiful animation you will ever see in your life. Yeah, but yeah, Vampire Hunter D, great film. Another 50s sci-fi film, Tarantula. Fun fact: this is Clint Eastwood's first movie. He plays a fighter pilot who blows up the spider. Next up, we have Salem's Lot. It is a TV series, but it is put together like a movie for the collection, so I put it with the movies. Yeah, this movie's great. I'm counting it as a big 3-hour epic. Love this movie. It's from my favorite. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Stephen King movie, but it's based off my favorite Stephen King book. Also, the remake can fuck a duck. King Kong Escapes, another new acquisition of mine. This movie is Toho's second film after King Kong vs. Godzilla, and it's just pure cheese. It is pure goofy bullshit, and it's fun. Prey. This movie was great. This was another... I'm sorry about the background noise. This movie was great. I really liked... This is a great step in the right direction for Predator films, and Predator Badlands, when that comes out in Blu-ray. I think it's supposed to come out on Blu-ray either later this month or later until... I am so sorry about the background noise. I don't know if the mic is picking it up. Or later until later into February. I don't know. Then we have Them, another great 50s sci-fi film. Giant bugs. What more could you want? Then we have Silence of the Lambs. This was another one I picked up. It was cheap and I wanted it because I really like this movie. Then we have Pearl, another new edition of mine. I don't know. I really liked Pearl, and X and Maxine are good, but I don't know if I want X and Maxine in my collection. I know that sounds weird, but I don't know if I legit want them in the collection. You know what I mean? Pearl was enough to warrant it, and also was $6, so I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Then we have The Devil Rides Out, another gift from my friend Chris. Um, another great. This is a great Hammer film that has Christopher Lee as one of the good guys and is like the top one of the greatest Hammer films ever. It's about a group of friends who try to save one of their friends who's fallen in with a satanic club, and it's a lot of like espionage and things like that. Really cool. Then we have Prince of Darkness, another John Carpenter film that is part of the Apocalypse trilogy. I do have The Thing on DVD, and They Live was part of that Apocalypse trilogy as well. So yeah, Prince of Darkness. It's a cool way of. It's like eldritch horror. Basically trying to quantify like heaven and hell. Really cool. Then we have Westworld, the original 70s film with Yul Brynner. I love this movie. It's from Michael Crichton, and yes, he went on to make Jurassic Park. He was like, well, how about I just dust off the Westworld idea and do it again as a how about we discuss it again as how about I do it again, but this time instead of robots, it's dinosaurs. It's literally the same thing. Then we have The Witch Subvision. No, this is not a Korean ripoff of The Witch. It has the same title. I think that was on purpose. But basically, it's an action film that was a surprise gift from Chris. And basically, it's about a super soldier woman who is hunted by the program she escaped from and hunts them down relentlessly. There is apparently a second film and a third film in the collection in the works. So at some point, these there's going to be a whole trilogy. But this first film, I didn't do a review on it, but it was a solid action film. Korean action films are just always good. Then we have Mayhem, another gift from Chris. This is an early Shudder film. I really love it. Then we have the other film I got with 7 at Big Lots, Friday the 13th Part 2. Yes, this is the first appearance of Jason, and with Baghead Jason, which I like Baghead Jason. Not so much as Hockey Mask Jason, but still. Then we have Reign of Fire. Now, look at that Blu-ray collection. Remember, we all thought Blu-ray was like the next big thing. We did stuff like this. Yeah, this movie should be bigger than it wanted to be. Dragon Apocalypse movie. What more do you want? Take my fucking money. Then we have, and yes, we still have two more stacks. So strap in or strap on. Giggity. Then we have It. Terror from Beyond Space, another Kino Lorber release. This is the inspiration for the movie Alien. And when you watch it, you'll see why, because it's about a crew leaving Mars and returning to Earth with a man who believed to have killed his crew on an away mission, and it turns out the creature is gotten on their ship is picking them off one by one. Then we have The Monster Squad. Yep, another gift from my friend Chris. Great film, great 80s film. What more do you want? Then we have the collector's edition from Shout Factory, Candyman. Rest in peace, Tony Todd. Following that, we have Die Hard. Yes, it's a Christmas movie. Shut the fuck up. All right, we're almost done. And this movie is going to shock you as to, this movie, after seeing, half the movie, crazy shit in here, you're going to be like, that's in here? That's a movie you like? Mouse Hunt. Yeah, I got it alongside North by Northwest. So literally, even I was like, one is an auteur movie that is, inspired movie making for generations from one of the greatest directors of all time, even if though he was kind of a creep. The other is Mouse Hunt. This movie is awesome. This actually was kind of a nostalgia buy for me because I got this from a gift from a family member at a very young age after I had surgery done, and this movie was a nice pick-me-up to it. It's still funny. It's still great. Also, now I'm older, I get the jokes. Another gift from Chris, The Valley of Guanjay. Great dinosaur versus cowboy film. Does take a while to get into. It does take a while for the dinosaurs to get there, but when they get there, it's great. Next up, Men in Black, the first one. Yeah, some of these movies are like 90s, 2000s nostalgia buys, because I do like them. And, yeah. Then we have, from Chris, because he thought this would be funny, Cocaine Werewolf. This movie is so awful. It's so low. It's like this movie was made with a ham sandwich and a used condom. That's how I describe that budget, but it's dumb, it's stupid, and it's fun. Next up, Boy Kills World. This is a great underrated film from 2024, great action film. And I have this fear. A trailer came out for a movie I'm instantly like, I want to see that, called They Will Kill You. And I watch that and go, oh, it's going to go the route of Boy Kills World because no one's going to go watch it. It's going to be a super underrated classic. It's going to be a super cult film. So that's what I'm afraid. Like, watching the trailer for They Will Kill You reminded me a lot of like Boy Kills World's like release. It's not going to be great, but I think it's going to be an awesome film regardless. Next, Abigail. Another one of my first Blu-rays I ever bought. This is a great vampire film, and I can't wait for Radio Silence's take on The Mummy. Next, Battle Royale. Another great Japanese film with a fight to the death. What more can I say? Then The Shining, which I have Dr. Sleep on DVD. So, yeah, I got both. This was more for completionist's sake. I think it's a fine movie. I don't think it's like one of the greatest horror movies of all time, but I think it's got a well enough merit to its own. Then Terminator 1 and 2, the only Terminator movies, okay? There were no other Terminator movies. There is no Warren Bossing say, okay, shut up. Then we have In the Mouth of Madness, the other film that this was considered John Carpenter's last great film, but it's a lot of fun. Like, this is a great tribute to Lovecraft without being, featuring Lovecraft characters. Then, from Chris, Shout Factory's release of Silver Bullet, another great werewolf movie, and King's only werewolf story as far as I know. Also, it has Gary Busey going full Gary Busey at points. Then we have the original special 2-disc deluxe remaster of the 1922 Nosferatu Robert Eggers remake. This from Kino Lorber is really awesome. It's a great 2K re-release of the original film. It's in crisp, clean condition for the film of the original film, and yeah, I think they did an excellent restoration on this. Great documentary on it too. I think Kino Lorber sometimes doesn't go all out with a lot of its releases, but between this and another film from the silent era, they clearly had a lot of love and reference for it. And Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. Then Sundown, The Vampires in Retreat. This movie is insane because it features like Bruce Campbell as a descendant of Van Helsing, and also David Carradine as Dracula, and they're all living in a commune in Arizona. It's so bizarre. Then, my favorite movie from one of my favorite movies from 2022, actually my favorite movie from 2022, and my favorite Robert Eggers movie, The Northman. Just a great folklore film. Then, Commando. Remember when I said I'd kill you last? I lied. That movie is so dumb and just pure 80s action machismo, but God help me, I love it. Then Rawhead Rex. This movie is not great, but it is fun, another Kino Lorber release. And yeah, I think it's a cool creature feature film. And also, Clive Barker hated this movie so much that he went on to make Hellraiser in response. So without the absolute failure of Rawhead Rex, basically we wouldn't really have, we would not have Pinhead. Then my first Blu-ray I ever bought, Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. This is a Shaw Brothers Hammer collaboration featuring Kung Fu vampires. It's dumb, it's cheesy, but God help me, I love it. When I saw it at an FYE, yes, those still exist, I was like, it's a sign from God. I must buy this movie. Ooh, needed that. Now for another recent acquisition, Creepshow. I'm not a big fan of horror anthologies for some reason, but I love Creepshow. It's a great horror film and just full of 80s cheese and camp. Then some very recent. Let's go through some very recent acquisitions of mine that I purchased not too long ago. And by not too long ago, I mean like a few days ago. It was this. First up, Bubba Hotep. If you don't know this movie, I'm going to try to explain it. It centers in a retirement home in Texas featuring Bruce Campbell playing Elvis Presley, an elderly Elvis Presley who faked his death and teams up with a black Robert F. Kennedy to stop a mummy who is sucking the souls out of people's assholes. Yes, this is from the guy who made Phantasm. How'd you know? This is so insane, but it's so much fun, and there's a lot of heart to it, too. I think this is one of Campbell's best performances, honestly. Then we have The Green Mile, another one of my favorite King adaptations as a movie. Yeah, don't put me in the dark, boss. Yeah. Then Space Jam. I just went through talking about like bizarre action horror movie, tour de force movie that is an Academy Award winner, Space Jam. What can I say? I have an affinity for these '90s films I grew up on. It's for inner childhood healing. Damn it. And then another of my recent collection buys, Casino by Martin Scorsese. Yeah, bizarre film, Academy Award winning film, Space Jam. This. Yeah, Casino is a awesome mob movie, and I think it's one of Scorsese's best films. I need to get Goodfellas. I've been meaning to get Goodfellas in the collection. Then we have Baby Secret of the Lost Legend. It's an E.T. knockoff featuring a dinosaur, but come on, it's a dinosaur. This is another movie that was like I watched as a kid, and I found it at a thrift store and had to buy it. Then we have the 2K restoration of Lon Chaney's Phantom of the Opera. This is kind of the same love and treatment that Kino Lorber gave to Nosferatu. Really solid restoration. And then Ultraman, The Adventure Begins. This is the Hanna-Barbera Ultraman, which originally it is made as an animated film, which I initially thought it was a series, but then it's cut together as a movie, so I put it with the movies. This is another gift from Chris. It's really cool. It's really cool to see Toei Animation, Subaru Animation collab with Hanna-Barbera, because the animation's pretty solid. It's just made as a movie, and the kaiju are so cool in here. Anyway, following that, Dead Silence. I think a highly underrated film. Absolutely it's an absolutely underrated film of horror from James Wan. It is getting a lot of recognition these days, but yeah. Then we have Arachnophobia, another 90s great. It's a great 90s film. Yeah, I love it. Then another recent acquisition, Terrified, another Shudder original film. This is from the director of what was it? He did another film recently that was really just punches you in the face. When Evil Lurks. This basically follows a supernatural haunting in a neighborhood. This movie will scare the shit out of you if you're not prepared for it. My first time watching it, I was like, what the fuck? Half the time. Like, I literally almost jumped out of my own pants with some scenes, honestly. Then we have Poltergeist, classic 80s horror film. Then Alien Romulus, Aliens. I put them in canonical order, in timeline order. Yeah, all three of these, what more can I say about it? We now have, instead of 2 good Alien movies and a lot of crap, we have 3 good Alien movies, some crap, and a mediocre show. Here's hoping the next Alien film is just as good. Then we have Thanksgiving, great slasher film, and I hope to God we get the sequel soon because this was so good. Then we have The Fly and the 80s remake. Both are really great. You can't go wrong with Vincent Price, right? You really can't go wrong with Vincent Price or Jeff Goldblum. The name got away from me. So, yeah. Next up is the fourth film I have of my fourth Val Lewton movie, and that is Isle of the Dead, another Boris Karloff film. This movie has two great jump scares that still get me to this day every time I watch them. The movie is about a Greek general and an American soldier traveling to a island that was the general's homeland, and they discover that there is some kind of plague going about, but paranoia grips at everyone there, thinking that it's a vampire. Is it? You'll have to watch to find out. Then, The Birds, for another Alfred Hitchcock's other major film. What more can I say about it, right? Then, Sisu. I need to get Road to Revenge. I need to watch Road to Revenge. But knowing how good this movie was, I'm probably gonna, and I heard a lot of good things about Road to Revenge, so I'm probably gonna just buy that movie on Blu-ray. But yeah, this is a great Finnish action movie. Do I think it needed a sequel? No, but I heard the sequel was good enough. It was good enough to merit its own existence. Then my comfort movie, Van Helsing. Is this movie good? No. Is this movie fun? Absolutely. Best incarnation of werewolves, and the closest we'll get to the dark universe actually working. Then we have The Crow, another great 90s film, dripping with atmosphere. Brandon Lee, we miss you. Then The Quatermass Experience, another Kino Lorber movie. And this was the first major Hammer film that got them into wanting to do more horror. They started out with sci-fi horror films before going into classical horror. So, yeah, and this movie kind of started it all. Then we have Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Kenneth Branagh's Frankenstein film with Robert De Niro as the monster. I bought this because I thought I had watched it once when it was on HBO when I was younger, and I thought it was kind of cool. But then I go back and watch the movie again. I buy the Blu-ray thinking I'm going to like it still. I mean, it looks nice, but Jesus Christ, this movie, Robert De Niro is not Karloff. He's not Jacob Elordi. Then we have The Bone Tomahawk, or just Bone Tomahawk with Kurt Russell. It's a great low-budget Western film with Patrick Wilson and other great character actors. It's a cool Western horror film featuring a bunch of guys hunting a group of Neanderthal-like cannibals across the Old West. A great story. Then we have Dawn of the Dead, another gift from Chris. Or Day of the Dead, excuse me. The original Ray Romero. Tried to say Harryhausen for some reason. But yeah. This is also a great film. Great zombie movie. And I'm not even a zombie guy, but I'm always down for Romero. Then Kill Bill, Volume 1. I've been meaning to get Volume 2, but Volume 1 is a movie that I like more. I just kind of like the first half more than the second half. Not to say the second half's bad, but I just kind of like the first part better. Then another surprise gift from Chris, Boris Karloff in The Walking Dead. This movie is about a Karloff who plays a wrongly convicted murderer. A guy wrongly convicted of murder, by a bunch of gangsters, and his body's used in an experiment to resurrect him from the dead, and now that he's back, he's looking for revenge. It's a very fascinating film, too, and another great Karloff performance. And then, another gift from Chris, Sleepaway Camp. If you know the ending, you know. Then we have 11 Rebels, another movie I liked from 2025. It's a cool samurai film that the script apparently was the movie was scripted in 1970, but it got dusted off by, I think, not Toho, but I think Toei did this one. But yeah, another cool samurai film. I'm always down for them. And then we have The Public Enemy, another great gangster film, classic film, James Cagney. What more do I need to say? And again, I just went through like movie about a movie like Sleepaway Camp, The Walking Dead, and then we get to The Public Enemy, a movie that people like view as one of the greatest films of all time. Told you my taste in movies is growing. And to end it, we have Psycho, Psycho 2, and a recent acquisition, Psycho 3. Yep. Psycho, I like Psycho 2. Psycho is one of my favorite movies of all time. And then I was like, on a whim. You ever buy something on a whim? That was kind of the case with this. Even though, yes, Psycho 2 is a phenomenal sequel. And there are days where I like Psycho 2 more than, Psycho 1. Psycho 3 I've seen it only once when it was streaming on Peacock one night. And I watched it and I was like, this movie, keep in mind, this movie is directed by Anthony Perkins. This is the only movie he directed. And having watched it, I can see why his son's movies, Osgood Perkins' movies, are so bizarre as they are. That rhymed. Because you watch Psycho 3 and you're like, what the fuck is going on? But it's entertaining. It's not good, but it's entertaining. And sometimes that's all I need a movie to be. Will I complete the series and get Psycho 4? Hell no. Psycho 4 sucks. Like, it is a slog. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That is pretty much my Blu-ray collection. Don't worry, it's going to get bigger. Like I said, I like to do these videos every so often just to showcase the movie collection and kind of give you a insight as to what I enjoy as a moviegoer and my growing taste in films, as well as like give some cool movie recommendations. But anyway, so yeah, that's my whole collection. I don't know if I'll do like a updated version of my DVD Blu-ray collection that I have because it hasn't really changed much. Now, I will say real quick, there were two things that didn't arrive in time for me to do this video. One is the original 1958 War of the Worlds. I bought that, and that's on its way. It's a 4K Blu-ray release. It's a 70th anniversary edition, so that's really cool. So I want to have that. I wanted to get that, and I also got the complete Blu-ray collection of Penny Dreadful, a great HBO series that was, like, again, the only time we're ever going to get, like, what is it? We're going to get the Dark Universe done right. But anyway, so there you go, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this, or if you stuck around this long, Jesus, we're going on over an hour. But anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.